a excellent connection is up. I know someone says it's almost bedtime for them. That kind of sucks, but anyways, we're ready to go. Let's see, go live. And we just hit the live stream button. So welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Box Mining live stream here, where we take a look at what's happening in the cryptocurrency space, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and wowsy with Ethereum. Ethereum just really took off. I mean, last episode we're talking about Ethereum $780, and now it's like what, 980? What's going on, guys? It's been absolutely insane the past few days in the cryptocurrency space. So we're gonna recap on everything that's happening here in terms of everything that's going on. We're gonna talk a little bit about the upcoming alt season. A lot of people were very concerned, like, is it gonna be alt season soon for alt cryptocurrencies? We're gonna talk a little bit about thoughts on that. So stay tuned. And we're going to catch up on everything that's happening on the news site as well. I prepared quite a lot of news on this, so we're just going to breeze through what's the newest stuff, what's the latest developments and all the new stuff happening in the cryptocurrency space. And we're going to wrap it up with a little bit of a browsing of what's happening with kind of the Reddit space and kind of the social aspects of everything. So super loads of tons of stuff today. Really exciting. I do also want to just wish you guys, if you guys haven't been on these live streams, I just want to wish you guys another very happy new year. It's been extraordinarily exciting this new year for everyone. So I'm super glad to be here with you guys and doing the live stream here. And also, guys, if you're just coming in as well, I really appreciate it if you do smash that live stream button. Not the live stream, smash the like button, as if Bitcoin and Ethereum is smashing those walls right now. Just keep smashing that up, guys. It really does help the channel. And I'm really just spending a lot of effort on this now. You can kind of see as crypto moves up, I'm happy and sad, right? I'm super happy crypto's moving up, but also I'm like, oh, my break's over. I gotta work like 18-hour days or 20-hour days to just push everything. So I really and I'm on top of everything, not just with YouTube, but also with my personal side, managing those bags up. You guys know, I typically stream after I manage my bags. That's typically how it goes. So I create a kind of a time where I don't really have to constantly stare at the markets. But that's what's exciting, right? Staring at the markets, figuring out what's going on. Also, just enjoying life a little bit. But anyways, guys, smash up those like buttons. Let's get the party started. All right, so very quickly, let's take a look at what's happening on the markets so far. So, oh boy, I gotta take a deep breath for this because rockets are flying. We got most notably Ethereum. So right now, Ethereum is really chasing Bitcoin up. It's up 25% in the last 24 hours. I thought I wouldn't live to see these days again where it's like 20%, not just 10%, right? So we've seen 10% increases in 24 hours, but 20%? Really? I thought those days were over. I thought those were behind me. Crypto was going to calm down, take a little bit of a chill pill. But nope, not Ethereum. Ethereum decides, you know what, guys, let's try to push for 1,000. That's exactly what we saw. Bitcoin's not bad either. Bitcoin's really keeping it up. We got Bitcoin at 33K right now. 33K, that's ridiculous, right? I mean, I think a lot of people who haven't zoned into crypto, they're coming to see these prices and I'm like, what? Like, refresh, is this website broken? Like, am I seeing the right thing? Like, last I checked, Bitcoin 3,000, right? 33,000? Huh? But anyways, that's kind of the sense that's going on. We also have a lot of other altcoins exploding today as well. Litecoin really showing, the world that it's around, it's live, it's it's there. Ripple, not so much. I mean, Ripple after the whole SEC FUD, it needs a little bit of a time to recover, it seems like. Polkadot being number 6. I'm feeling great about Polkadot actually. This year has been like pretty huge. Like, well, last year, not this year. Last year has been pretty huge for the Polkadot talk. We were talking about it early on in 2019 before it even launched because it was super hot in China. And that China fever really took over the rest of the world. It just seems like people knew they had to move and move it shall. So I'm going to do more coverage on Polkadot very soon. There's a lot of very unique ideas there. Like from the ground up, there's a lot of very unique ideas on Polkadot that's worth looking at, especially the idea of allowing a lot of bigger projects to build their own chains using substrate. So it allows basically anyone who's building a big project to build their own chain, customize it to their own specifications, and then of course allow it to interoperate, allow it to these assets to cross these chains into Polkadot and into other cryptocurrencies. That's kind of like the next generation, right? Interoperability, keywords there, throwing big words. Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, Binance Coin, Chainlink, all showing some strength. They really just basically said, you know what, we can't let these alts are all like, we can't let Bitcoin take all the glory here. Bitcoin, thank you. There's a rising tide that raises all boats, and all the boats are like, yeah, we gotta flex a little bit too. Kind of funny here. I also noticed like in terms of top performance in the top 100 cryptocurrencies, we see Nano pushing hard. It's kind of funny. I saw like loads of tweets on Reddit. Like, Nano was a big like coin for the Redditors. So everyone's like, oh, Nano holders. Oh, what's happening, guys? It's like, seems like everyone's coming out of the woodworks. We got Vechain showing some strengths here at 2.5 cents. So Vechain, you guys know, it's one of my third largest bags. So I'm super excited to see Vechain up here getting some of that attention. I mean, last year they've been focusing a lot on enterprise adoption, and that's not really sexy, right? That's not the most exciting things in the world, Another $1 billion being added, or billion dollar company being added to the network. Not too sexy, because it's kind of boring. These business guys, they don't know how to speak. But this year, yet again, Vechain getting some attention, getting some love in the cryptocurrency space. Why the hell not? Right the hell not? All right, so that's kind of the overall view on the market. You can definitely see the beginnings of the altcoin season. You can definitely see, yet again, we're seeing those like plus 50%, 40 plus 20% plus is growths for like all these coins. You definitely know something's up. There are some losses though, like empty set dollar, see a coin, but that's kind of expected in this current space. You can see that it's, in terms of the past 24 hours, it's much more positive than negative, especially in the top 100. Let me just take a quick glance at the top 100 to 200. Yet again, we definitely see a lot of activity. TrustSwap up there as well. If you guys know, I'm an advisor for TrustSwap. I've been saying that the whole of last year, they've been doing some crazy good stuff, especially not just with what the original aim is. The original aim of TrustSwap is always to have a trusted scenario for projects to send coins, or people to send coins to each other, and even have time payments. But this year, what's really shining is the TrustSwap launchpad. So getting on the launchpad to get onto new projects, that has been a key feature. So you stake TrustSwap, you get on the projects. It's been like one of the top kind of excitements going on. So we'll talk about the latest TrustSwap Launchpad project as well. So we'll talk about a little bit about Glitch in the episode. But yeah, they're performing nicely, and that's super exciting. We also got UTrust up here as well. UTrust is building, like, it's also another coin that I'm holding. Obviously, you guys can see I've been holding a few coins, but UTrust has been doing a crazy amount of good work with integration. So having businesses to allow the acceptance of cryptocurrencies. That's such huge, like these. I think that's kind of the next barrier, right? People are now asking me, okay, how do I get into crypto? How do I spend crypto? Where does this go? You need to build up this whole network. And, coming from 2012, nothing was built back then. It just seems like it was a barren landscape. It was like, the chicken and egg question. When are the services going to come online, right? So now in 2021, we definitely see more and more services coming. People, when they understand Bitcoin, they're like, oh, where can I spend it? Well, you can spend on these merchants, boom, 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 boom. You can spend it, you can buy it. So much liquidity here. It really makes it much easier for people to get in. Now, we got a lot of questions, right? So a lot of people are wondering, what's the next kind of prediction or the outlook for cryptocurrencies coming in. So I'll talk about that right now. We'll take a look at the markets. So we got Nick V saying ETH 2K end of month. That's FUD, man. That's FUD. ETH is gonna be a rocket. Let's dream a little bit bigger here, right? Let's dream just a little bit bigger. We'll talk. So, all right. Taking some thoughts, right? So right now at this current point, we have Bitcoin kind of being, so here's what my key understanding here, and you got to kind of understand what my thoughts are. So first of all, foremost, I want really want to know where the resistances are. So okay, so what are kind of some points where there were possible rejections, and we did see a rejection roughly around 34K for Bitcoin. So 34.9K, almost 35K. So we saw that rejection last time. So Bitcoin tried to push above $35,000, didn't really make it. But that rejection hasn't caused a major drop yet. And I've currently marked the resistance here to be around at $30,000. And that makes a little bit of sense, right? You can see that $30,000 was a point of resistance before, but now it's becoming support, right? So this is kind of where I'm drawing the channel for now. But it's key to remember that Bitcoin has not entered this zone before, right? So in the previous run, right, in 2017, Bitcoin got hard rejected off 20,000, and we don't have any more data, right? This is kind of the surprising part. We're entering the uncharted territory at this current point. So in terms of the data, we're getting very, very little data about where our supports and resistance are at this current point of time, which is also great because that means we can have a lot more room to grow. So after you saw Bitcoin crossing 20,000, you definitely saw that explosive energy going forward because people were like, okay, where's the next major resistance, huh? Is it 100K? Is it 1 million? That's becoming it's not so well established, which is very, very interesting. And it's something that I've also said early on in 2019. Once the halving happens, I expected, okay, a little bit, half a year of just kind of moving, not too much. And then after the halving, right, like in the period that we have right now, 6 months afterwards, almost like clockwork ticking in, boom, that explosion as that interest for Bitcoin. So we have high, like either the same demand for Bitcoin or higher demand, right? Regardless of which, as long as, even if the demand stays the same, Bitcoin, the amount of supply for Bitcoin, that's halved, right? And the reserves have been depleted. So it's almost like clockwork coming in, boom, 6 months afterwards, we have that rocket ship going up into space at this current point. Now, interesting enough, now this is the first day that the market's really open, right? So now we're January 4th over here in Hong Kong. So it's like the Asian markets have already opened, and it's a good sign that there's no catastrophic drop. That was one of my concerns going as the weekdays approach, as businesses start to reopen, as traders come back, because you definitely know. No, right. The narrative last year was that there were a lot of institutional investors, right? We saw MicroStrategy buying up $500 million worth of Bitcoin. Now, will these institutional investors take profit? That becomes a big question mark in my mind, right? Because if they bought, and especially if they start accumulating throughout 2017, and maybe even if they started accumulating in 2018, they would have got 3K prices, 6K, 7K for the price of Bitcoin. So in that sense, will they start taking profit, especially with Bitcoin hitting 33K this year? So now it doesn't seem to be the case that there is a massive urgency to take profit too. As Asian markets open, we're going to have the US markets opening tonight. So that's where I'm keen. I'm keen to look to see if there is some form of pullback. Okay, a lot of people are saying, okay, look, pullbacks, FUD, and all that stuff. A lot of people are very concerned about talking about kind of potential for pullback, but it's definitely going to happen sometime, right? It's an inevitability where the market needs to really find out where its proper support lines are, and it's going to surprise a few people. Now, this is not financial advice, of course. For me, nothing on this channel is financial advice. It's very much of my journey into crypto, but that's what my expectations are, and that's what I'm preparing myself for. So just mentally preparing myself for kind of a retrace of some sort, but who knows at this current point. Now, speaking of Ethereum as well, so Ethereum just really pushed off. I mean, we were talking about this last time, right? So we drew the resistance here at this mark, right? So around 700, just before 800. We made that like live stream last time, right? We were talking. It was kind of funny, like just counting back stories, but it seems like a long time ago. But it was when Bitcoin pushed to 33K, we got Ethereum, and Ethereum did something crazy, which is it broke past that resistance that it saw for a long time, and then afterwards it just flew, right? Like once it passed this point, it just went up and straight into space. And it was a kind of an interesting scene as well because last stream, right? I'm just gonna get the date for last stream, so at least it makes sense. We can get the narrative there. So the last stream that I had was 1 day ago streaming. It's probably like 36 hours ago. So 36 hours ago, it's kind of funny. I was reading the comments up on that. So this was the last stream we had. It was on the 3rd of January. But bright and early, it was like midnight for me at the very least. That's why you can see I was really, really tired on the last stream. But a lot of people during last stream were extremely, look at that face, look at that face. A lot of people last stream, they were very concerned that Ethereum was not pushing up as aggressively as Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin rallied, and where's Ethereum? Ethereum was left in the dust, it seemed like. But now we have Ethereum reclaiming that throne, not the throne, but reclaiming its position as one of the most powerful innovators in this space. Attention's being drawn onto there, and it kind of funnels like that, right? You got Bitcoin bringing up the entire market because everyone, they understand Bitcoin. They the news talks about Bitcoin. News barely understands Ethereum. Like no one understands what's going on, and then the other altcoins even less, right? But Bitcoin is the tide that brings everything up. It goes rises up, and then Ethereum starts playing. Okay, look, we've got some crazy innovations here. Check us out. And then, of course, now we're kind of at the edge of what I'm going to say is we're very close to that insane altcoin season, almost like the one that we saw in 2017 times, where everyone is now paying attention to the other alts. And it always seems to flow like this. Like once Bitcoin, the giant, it calms down a little bit, now everything starts to rise in the certain space. So definitely, I spent a lot of time yesterday kind of increasing my altcoin portfolio. So my personal take on it was that I definitely did increase altcoin portfolio. People were asking about, like, say, Litecoin last time. Yeah, I did increase actually my Litecoin portfolio. I actually added to a lot more of the kind of the bigger alts. Why? Is because I feel like that's going to be the flow, right? It's going to be flowing from Bitcoin to Ethereum to the bigger alts to the smaller alts, right? That's kind of the passage of time. So I've been kind of pretty at this point. I'm pretty much out of fiat. It's kind of funny, right? Like I said, like people thought I'll be selling aggressively right now. No, I feel like this is still quite early on in the scene, especially in terms of if you just look at the trends, right? So I'm just looking at the trends for this. We're just picking up right now. Look at that. Like, so we're pretty much, roughly speaking, 4 times that of, say, July and August, where we're at 100 right now for Bitcoin search interest over time. But if you look at it relative to 2017, we're still not there yet, right? We're still that retail FOMO. It's still not there. It's still kind of right before this crazy peak, right? So I feel like that's when when people start asking me about it, that's when it starts. I mean, a lot of my tech, like people who like tech friends, are really picking it up. And this time I feel like people have a bigger understanding of Bitcoin. I think that's kind of the key here and why I'm so optimistic. Last time you saw I'm super optimistic, I'm super bullish. One of the biggest reasons why is because people now understand Bitcoin a lot more, right? Back in 2017, there was a very weak understanding of everything's going on, what's going on. It's funny internet money. But people are understanding one other key aspect too, which is that the current economy is totally messed up. Like with the US, the Fed printing so much money, like what, 23% of all US circulating supply of USD were printed last year. I mean, that certainly does ring some alarm bells. And talking about being a currency that has a fixed supply, number one, that's Bitcoin, big pull factor. The other big pull factor that really happened last year, and it's very present in Asia, right? Very Asia specific. So for me being in Hong Kong, I feel there's a lot more, which is that a lot of Chinese have very, very reduced access to being able to send currency freely, right? So the narrative in China last year was that there was this risk of China being kicked out of the SWIFT system. I mean, it sounds ludicrous, right? Especially if you're thinking from the global trade perspective, you want countries to trade with each other more, etc. But because of this trade war, because of this fear that China will be kicked out of SWIFT. China has very aggressively moved on that front too. They've been pushing out DCEP, digital currency electronic payment, and they've been trying to get around being able to send currency freely. But that is a big fear in China. So now with the Chinese coming in and saying, look, we want a currency that we can send anywhere in the world, right, without any restrictions. That's Bitcoin. Right? That's the only currency that can solve this need, because every other currency or system is politically motivated. There was a lot of messed up politics happening last year. You don't want to be on the bad end of politics, right? This is why all people from my dad's generation and they constantly look on the news to see if there's going to be any restrictions on how they can send currency or how they're going to be affected. Bitcoin doesn't care. Right? I think that's the big explainer. If you need anything to tell your friends about Bitcoin or anything about that, fixed supply, and also more importantly, Bitcoin doesn't care about politics. I think that's one of the key aspects that people don't say it enough. I think it's felt much more here in Asia than over in the Western world. I feel like in the West, people expect that money, you can just save it in a bank and you can send it anywhere in the world and you'll be fine. But that's actually not true. That's actually not true. All right, we got Robert Le saying, general thoughts with USDT printing and systematic risk exposure to crypto, thanks. That's actually been a pretty big concern. So let's talk about that very quickly. I feel like a lot of people are asking questions about that. So Tether has now become the number 3 currency by market cap. Now, Tether is not a cryptocurrency, it's a stable coin, right? So Tether is meant, okay, by part of its design, by its claims, I'll say claim, right? Tether claims to have $1 for every USDT out there. So right now, the banks, the vaults of Tether should be supposedly holding $21 billion, billion with a capital B. This has become a lot bigger over time. If you actually just look at Tether, it has grown exponentially. It's grown exponentially. Let's just take a look. Let's take a look at Tether and the market cap. Look at that. Look at that. That is a line just growing and growing. And you can definitely see that 2020 has been a huge year. I mean, it started off at $4 billion in terms of market cap, and then now it's 21. That's actually quite a bad thing to a lot of people, because that means that Tether is holding more and more fiat, right? And do they really even hold that amount of fiat? That has become a huge question in the cryptocurrency community. Now, there are so many different ways to look at it. And if you guys have been watching a lot more of the Western channels, this is yet a case of East versus West, right? A lot of Western channels do not understand why Tether has so much money, why it's holding so much money, right? That's insane, right? $21 billion. Where is that money, right? Tether has never been an official audit for Tether, right? So they have never released any audit information. And even if they do, right, do they really hold that much? Where is that money? Is it being saved in a bank vault, or is it being saved in vaults? And there's so many rumors, right? Okay, so let's explain why it's very popular. First and foremost, it has become the number 1 way for people to enter crypto. So previously, a lot of people, they purchase, especially in the West, people don't understand it because they purchase crypto directly with US dollars. But that is absolutely not available in China, right? So in the Chinese landscape, because exchanges are banned, because you cannot directly buy Bitcoin from a bank account, Huobi, OKX, they pretty much got kicked out of China, right? Just look at the 2017 FUD that appeared, right? That still holds true. People cannot buy directly with their bank accounts in China. But what's becoming very popular is OTC, so over-the-counter trades. That has become super, super popular. And the way people usually buy that now is with Tether, because Tether is a lot more stable. So when you're negotiating over-the-counter, when you're messaging people, it's much easier to work out a strike price when the asset isn't very volatile, right? So Tether has become the number 1 way to enter crypto. So it's become such a big gatekeeper. So yes, to answer your question very directly, if there's problems within Tether, so Robert, if there's problems within Tether, there's going to be repercussions in the whole entire cryptocurrency space, because at the end of the day, if $21 billion, this market cap, if this is just fictional money, right? This is magic money. If it's not backed by actual US dollars, we're going to have some problems when people try to redeem it, right? But that being said, popularity of Tether is just insane right now because of the insane need for Tether. So a lot of people don't understand why it's such an insane growth. But 2020, we saw huge interest in China. Excuse me. We saw huge interest for the Chinese to get into crypto, and they needed this tether. So that was why there was a competition between all the coins, right? So, Huobi made their own HUSD. We had Paxos. We had USDC. There's so many different stablecoins trying to take that role. So I feel like in the future, all right, in not even just stablecoins backed by US dollars, but our synthetic versions of stablecoins are also coming in, right? So we had DAI, right? DAI, which is collateralized by ETH. We have SUSD. We have new, right now, all these algorithmic stablecoins coming in. So what I see is that in the future, yes, Tether currently is a problem, but in the future, it will become less and less of a problem as we diversify the different numbers of stablecoins out there. So I think that's kind of the complete story. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. I think a lot of people were very guilty of this, just saying, oh, like Tether is so dominant and it's printing just infinite amounts of money. Who's buying it? Well, the Chinese, okay? The Chinese are buying it. Like, I get so angry when people don't have any understanding. They just create FUD and news out of nowhere. Like, there is a substantial amount of people who actually need to use it in China. And this is why, yeah, it's super popular. It's so far, I don't see any huge issues this year. Like, with Tether, I feel like the amount of trade volume is justified. But yet again, I have never seen audits for Tether, right? So that risk is always there. I've never seen those audits. Who knows what's going to happen? That's the case, and that's why we need to diversify. That's why most of those DeFi projects, if you're looking at it, metastable, what is it trying to do? Well, create baskets of cryptocurrency stablecoins. Or Curve, what is it trying to do? Like, DeFi is trying to solve that problem at this current point. What is DAI trying to do? So yet again, we're trying to solve one of these key issues here. But yeah, is there risk? Yes. But is it like crazy? Should I just like freak out? No. That's my 2 cents on this. So yeah, I'm not the wolf. This Tether is huge, absolutely huge in China. It is the way to enter crypto in China. It is the way. And also, like, on the other note as well, why do the Chinese even keep Tether? Well, one of the reasons why is because in China you don't get direct access to the US dollar. A lot of people, they're like, oh yeah. And I've been saying this too. Like, if you have the option, if you want to hold USD, unfortunately, the best way to hold it is in a bank, right? Like, that's still protected by the government. That's still protected in some way, insured, depending on where you live in the world. But in China, there is no direct access to the US dollar, right? That's the way the banks are set up there. Look up SAFE, right? Just Google the word SAFE, SAFE, and how foreign currencies are controlled in China. If Chinese people want to have USD exposure, especially large amounts of it, one of the ways to do it is Tether. The other way is to come to Hong Kong, right? Hong Kong has been a huge financial district and a hub, especially because the Chinese need to have a foreign offshore USD banking hub. So anyways, that's pretty much it. So we have a lot of requests. I'm actually gonna for the chat in the future, I feel like, because right now we have 742 people watching. Thank you guys. By the way, thank you. Big thank you to everyone who is watching this channel. I hope you guys stay up to safe. We're seeing more and more like that live, the amount of people on live, it's just growing massively. I remember still early on, the last few years, live streams, we barely get like, 300, 400, but now it's 700, and we've seen 1,000 when cryptocurrency prices move. This is some insane time. So definitely, guys, thank you so much for joining this channel, coming in. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, that notification bell becomes very important because I do a lot of spontaneous live streams. If you guys want to know what's going on, just have me in the background speaking, blah, 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 chatting and giving you guys some insight into what's happening. Subscribe, like, everything. Thank you, guys. And we've got like 135 likes. Thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate it out there. So we have a lot of chat. So we're gonna have a look at we're gonna answer a lot of questions. A lot of people were talking about Chainlink, it's overpumped and all this. I mean, oh my god, there's a lot of I think like there's a lot of questions. I think a lot of people have questions um on the scene right now. And I think we're going to try to answer more. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive this year to kind of push content, and we'll be up to date a lot, especially a lot with the scaling solutions. I'll talk a little bit about scaling right now because transaction costs have gone up a lot recently. So one of the best ways to visualize this is with transaction TXstreet. So right now at this current point, right? So the median cost of an Ethereum transaction right now is around $13, right? And the median price for a Bitcoin transaction is around $3. So this has been vastly increasing. So for Ethereum and Bitcoin, the way it works is it works by paying a gas price. It's almost like Uber surge prices. The more you pay, the faster or more likely your transaction is going to get through. So this is why looking at these numbers are extremely important, because it decides how much your transactions cost, and also playing around with these numbers can save you drastically on fees. Now, this has been the bane of my existence for some time because I use Ethereum quite a lot. I've been mining, not bases, Mithril Cash. I've been in there, and at this current point, because not only because you're not sending a transaction, but because you're interacting with the blockchain, it costs quite a bit. So it could go up to like $30, $40 if you're not careful. So how this works, I'm just gonna I'm going to explain a little bit about how this works and why this visualization really helps me a little bit. But I think this is one of the most helpful things. So first and foremost, on the Ethereum side, we have the GUI prices, right? The higher the GUI, the more expensive it is, right? And the way the trucks work is kind of funny. So the most expensive kind of car here, right? This is the most expensive train is 182 GUI. And usually for me, I only go for this price if I'm going for a trade. So if I'm trading a very volatile asset on Uniswap, that's when I go and just hit the gas, bite the bullet, pay $30 for a transaction. Ugh, not great, but has to be done, right? And in fact, yesterday it shot up to around 400. It was nuts, right? That was a point when you really have to decide, is it really worth doing this transaction or not? But typically speaking, I'm a little bit cheaper, so I just kind of look down this road and say, okay, look, what other trains are there? Like, okay, look, are transactions getting through, right? Can you push down to maybe 125 GUI, 110, 100, or even less at this current point? So typically speaking, I go like 6 cars down and I choose a target over here. And that's kind of like, I kind of try to see the traffic and I try to get away with shooting for less in terms of gas prices. That's how like a little bit sneaky I am in terms of the transaction cost. The lower the cost, I don't want to spend like $400 on transactions each day. For me, saving like 20-30% becomes quite a lot. So for anything that's not very time sensitive, if I'm just staking something, if I'm unstaking something, that's generally speaking how I would target it. This becomes very important if you use a lot of crypto, by the way. So I guess like for me, it's a big thing. I'm not sure for you if it's a big thing or not. We got ETH just passed 1,000. Holy crap, guys. Let's take a look. Oh my God, we are pushing up. We are really pushing up right now. Yep, we're reaching 1,000. We'll have to see. 1,000 might not be a very might not be a very strong resistance right now. So that's gonna be very, very interesting. Arif Akhtar says it cost me 0.5 ETH to remove my LPs the other day. It is extremely expensive. That being said, guys, if you guys need to send transactions, if you guys need an exchange to send transactions, what I've been doing is I've been using FTX, all right? So I'm using this whilst it lasts. So right now on FTX, when you withdraw from the exchange, all transactions are free. So regardless of like how much it costs in terms of sending a transaction outside, on FTX, all withdrawals are free from this exchange. So if you guys can have access to FTX, I'm pretty much using my FTX account as a daily wallet. So whenever I need to move funds or have something around, I kind of save up on the gas prices by using FTX because I can just withdraw for free. So smart thinking there. Also, the other note, if you guys want to save transaction costs, I know this might be controversial, but it's pretty much done like all over Hong Kong right now. Like everyone in Hong Kong does this. But use TRC20. If you're transferring just between exchanges, I do that quite a lot. So like if I need to move funds from Binance to FTX or BitMEX to FTX or FTX to BitMEX, I transfer using TRC20. So I use Tron to transfer my USDT, right? So it's just a little bit cheaper. A lot of the times the fees are $0.2, so like 20 cents, rather than $5 or $6 in terms of fees. I mean, it's just a small little optimizations. It makes a big difference for me. I feel like because I do transfer funds a lot, I do move, like this is my most active trading season right now. I use pretty much all the top tier exchanges. I transfer funds between them because you can only access some currencies, use cryptocurrencies on some certain exchanges like KuCoin. You can only get Valo there, or like BitMax, you have like Linear there. So I move funds between exchanges using Tron version of the USDT, which makes a lot of sense, right? Like right now, if you look at the network being clogged up, if you transfer it yourself, it's going to cost you $12. Like why pay $12 when you can pay 20 cents, right? And also on that note as well, it also reduces the network congestion. A lot of right now network traffic is coming from Tether. So if you actually visually just look at that, a lot of the transactions are Tether. Just look at so many people just transferring Tether. Yeah. So anyways, just finding ways to save up on there makes a small difference. I hope that little tidbit helps you a little bit, especially because like, yeah, if exchange supports it, just have to be careful that it's all a TRC20 address. But anyways, that's pretty much a tidbit here. Now let's go straight on to the news. So in terms of news, okay, I'll go on to the big stuff first. In terms of the Cointelegraphs and stuff, and not too much big movements right now. It makes a lot of sense because a lot of the big outlets, big institutional sites, they've been away for the holidays, right? But there's a lot of developments and news that's happening in the Twitter space and a new coin space. So first and foremost, we got ExceedMe. So they just joined the Blockchain Gaming Alliance. So this is huge, right? Blockchain gaming is one of the biggest topics of this year, and I've been talking about it for the last 3 years. Now, blockchain gaming could be the factor that can bring a lot of people into crypto, but there has been a few hiccups along the way. First and foremost, if the blockchain game is on Ethereum right now, you're kind of screwed because it costs like what, $13 to send a transaction. So if you're using it to send items in video games, it doesn't make much sense because $13 for a transaction cost is just insane, right? But that being said, there are a lot of new blockchain solutions being built to solve that situation, and that's what we're seeing right now. So Exceed, they're building their own blockchain interoperability technology to allow these blockchains to communicate with each other, and there is a blockchain gaming alliance. So we'll talk more about gaming. I think there's still other problems to solve in gaming, but I think this year can be huge. And I think once we solve these problems, blockchain will solve a lot of the key issues that gamers face with trust, verifiable rarity, and even reserve value. Like so many solutions here, we just need to have the right way to apply it. And this is where, for me, all right, my personal take is that anytime someone says Fortnite is going to adopt NFTs, I'm going to smack them in the face. Like, there are certain games that this works very well for, especially games that are reliant on trading. But a lot of free-to-play games do not want trading whatsoever. And that's one of the key aspects. So that was one of the key failures of 2017. I just want to preach this out. But that was one of the key failures of 2017, where people just blatantly copy like something like Hearthstone, added trading in there, and then realize it doesn't work. It doesn't work because the game's monetization is built around not having trading. Right, that's the key. Like the disabling trading has become a huge feature in gaming too. So I guess if you guys are smart and realize that, that's great. If you guys don't, well, now you learned something. All right, so later we have also glitch. So if you guys are looking at gas prices and freaking out, there are a lot more blockchains being built to solve this issue as well. So Glitch is launching very soon on the TrustSwap launchpad. So this is how it kind of works, right? So TrustSwap launchpad is a way to get into these projects. So Twitch is also one of the lower kind of market, like lower raises of coin. So that's kind of why it's attractive. It's not only just providing a solution, but it's also quite low cap. So it gives it some room to grow as well in that sense. So Glitch is coming up on the TrustSwap launchpad very, very soon. So that's something exciting to look out for, which also explains why TrustSwap is also moving a lot, because people want to accumulate it to get those TrustSwap weighted averages. We also have, okay, so you can have the Glitch explanation up here. Let's see. We got Pancake Swap. We have got, okay, Tezos. All right, so we got Tezos and Ramp DeFi. A few people were asking about Ramp DeFi and the latest news. So there is a beta integration between Ramp DeFi and Tezos at this current point. So what's kind of important? What's kind of view here? So with the DeFi scene coming in, I feel like that's going to be like after the public discovers Ethereum, wait till they discover DeFi. DeFi has provided a huge way for decentralized, not it's solving a lot of current problems in crypto, like moving assets across chains. And something that Ramp DeFi is really good at doing is it allows people to both stake an asset and also have and move it across chain. So you have that staked asset locked there, but you unlock the capital because it's kind of like taking almost on a crypto loan. So it's like you lock it on one side, you get the earnings, but all the same time, because you can prove that you locked it on one side, you can unlock it on another blockchain to use assets. Like this is mind blowing. This is like holy crap. It's just insanity. And if you're smart on it, there was a lot of opportunities. DeFi summer was crazy. DeFi spring, who knows? But anyways, that's coming up at this current point. So we have that coming up. We have Injective also having some latest releases too. So I've been definitely following up with a lot of what's happening. If you guys don't know what Injective is, they're doing derivatives trading on layer 2 on their own blockchain. They're on the testnet right now, so you can test it out to look at what they're doing. But I think this year, it's insane. It's going to be decentralized exchanges. It's going to be both usable and friendly to use. I think it's going to be super exciting on that front as well. So following on Reddit/cryptocurrency, we definitely see a lot of revival of a lot of altcoins. So you can see that the early rumblings of the alt season is coming. I wouldn't even say this is alt season right now. I think a lot of people, they see, ETH is up 20%, Nano is up 50%, but this is alt season. No, alt season can go a lot more crazy. So yeah, we already see, like, I was like reading this, like we got, like, why is Nano so polarizing? Why is that, hey, IOTA, don't forget about us. It's kind of interesting to see that kind of discussion pop up on Reddit/cryptocurrency. That's kind of how I'm viewing it right now, but it was kind of fun to see what's going on. So yeah, that's pretty much it for what I have for you guys prepared for the news section. Neo and Vet pumping Quantum 2. It's gonna be crazy. Exceed below 40 cents again. That's pretty good. Like entry points. I got Robert. Thank you so much for your donation again. Thoughts about Algorand? Yeah, Algo's good. There's like a lot going on. Like I feel like it moves, right? It moves in terms of what's happening. I think the biggest objective, and I think if I ever needed to say anything to Algo, is they need projects being built on it. I think this year has been pretty key, right? Every kind of smart contract blockchain other than Ethereum, they need to demonstrate that there's a lot of activity on there. I mean, this is why Binance Smart Chain has been just crazy, right? They've been trying to add a crazy number of projects, like PancakeSwap is on there. They've been trying to move very aggressively to get a lot of projects on board, and that's kind of key, right? That's absolutely key. If they don't have like projects running on top of it, that's gonna be a problem, right? They need to have an ecosystem. They need to demonstrate they can grow an ecosystem, and that's one of the biggest aspects that people are looking at this current point. Okay, so we got Tyler Heel says, you're a champion, my friend. Thank you so much. Michael Liu says, some altcoins gone up 5x or more. It's insane. Brandon Simmons says, alt season starts when ETH hits the old all-time high of 1,400. So altcoin season, I mean, if altcoin season comes, like if the full altcoin season comes this year, it's going to be absolutely insane, right? I mean, Bitcoin is at 33K already, and with retail interest, right? So this is kind of the exciting part, right? Retail is always a dangerous, it's good and bad, right? You kind of see that the institutional investors, they're a lot more calm. So they kind of position their buy orders over time because they don't want to move up the market, right? So we definitely saw a lot of accumulation 2019, 2020 when we were talking about Bitcoin, but no one cared, right? Like I can tell you all the times when people were just like, oh, Bitcoin sucks, it's a scam, it's over, right? And I've had so many of those conversations. But that was when the institutional investors were accumulating. And it's not even the full-on institutional investors. It's kind of like the leaders, right? It's like your micro strategies, right? out there. The big funds, they still don't dare touch Bitcoin at this current point. So I think there's still a lot of room to grow there. But institutional investment coming in 2020, that was kind of key. But now we see retail coming in as well, and retail is a little bit different. That behavior is a little bit different, right? Retail FOMO can just kick off like that, and then can die like that too. So that's when we enter the craziest time for Bitcoin. This is when the insanity starts. This is when a lot of people will both make a lot of money and lose a lot of money. Like if you kind of, and we've seen that with altcoin cycles too, right? Like a lot of people are like, oh crap, it's this is, like this is the hottest thing, should I buy it? Like, sometimes, you never buy at the peak of excitement, right? If you look at something, you're like, okay, look, if there's so much chatter on it, that's gonna be a concern. I mean, that's the classic Wall Street um adage, right? There's like, oh, if your taxi driver is asking you about investment advice or if they should buy Tesla or not, okay, maybe it's a time to be careful. Be careful, be cautious when people are greedy. So this is when, for me personally, again, not financial advice, for me personally, when I'm starting to become a little bit more cautious, right? This is just common sense at this current point. As the public comes in, all right, as it moves up a bit more, I'm getting more active. Obviously, there's a lot more trade volatility, so I'm being more active. But at the same time, I'm being a lot more cautious as well. When people are greedy, you should be fearful, and this is pretty much that's happening. Um, do you expect downtrend? So now when downtrend, right? When downtrend, this is going to become very quite interesting as well. So like I said before, February is when Chinese New Year hits. So February 14th ish is when Chinese New Year comes. So that would be the other kind of main point to watch out for. We did know that Chinese New Year was a big part of that dip in 2017, and crypto never really recovered until now, right? So that was like a big kind of fire starter for the bear market. So I'm keeping an eye on that, but it seems like I don't feel like the scenario is the same. Last time we had major retail FOMO and there was massive kind of cashing out. I feel like this time this year the retail FOMO is just starting. We're kind of at the start of that rocket ship, and if the rocket ship manages to set sail, that's going to be super interesting times ahead. We got Billy says, no downtrend in a bull trend. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see ETH rally. So yeah, ETH is rallying again. So once it passes that 1,000, so let's see if we can stay above 1,000 at this current point. It's going to be kind of fun. It's going to be exciting because if we manage to stick above 1,000, oh my God, that's going to be kind of crazy, right? Then that means we can push up even more. Mr. Man says, you mean 2018? Yeah, I mean 2018. So, um, Chinese New Year. Oh yeah, so all right, there you go. So just a correction as well. So it's February 4th, 12th. So I miss it ends on the 14th, so Chinese New Year this year in 2021. It starts on the 12th of February, it ends on the 14th. It changes every year, by the way, with Chinese New Year, but mhm. Jose Valencia says, I'm still waiting for a healthy correction for Bitcoin. Also want to go back to ETH. Healthy correction, who knows what that is, right? Like, this is one of the crazy parts where this market becomes highly unpredictable. A lot of people try to time the market, and they try to buy the lowest point and the highest point, and I'm like, nah, that's not for me. Like, I've been a great hodler. I've acquired, and also I've been entering positions right now because I feel like, yeah, like, who knows when that dip is gonna come, right? Like, yeah, time is precious. So let's go. All right. We got King Cobra says ban all the bears. LOL. I think bears are cool. This is a channel where I'm like, you know what, bears are cool because that's also gives us brings a lot of people back to reality, right? Like markets can go up, markets can go down, right? And at the end of the day, it's about having the right amount of risk. And I think having bear voices are very important as well. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, it's inevitable for some sort of correction to come. I think that's true. But at the same time, when is that correction going to come, right? Is it going to come when ETH corrects from 2,000 to 1,500? Maybe that's something that's going to happen too. right? Like that's a possibility. So we'll have to see what's going on and figure out the stuff. Now, last thing gonna cover, I think this is gonna be highly controversial as well. By the way, guys, we got like 1,000 concurrent viewers. Holy crap, guys. Holy crap. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate the views. A lot more views coming in, a lot more fun stuff coming in too as well. So I really hope you guys can smash up the likes. It really does help this channel. Let's hit 300. It really does become a very good point for guys. So guys, if you are coming in, if you're just watching, really, really much appreciated too if you guys smash up those likes. Also, this year we have the join button. If you guys want to join this community, there's going to be a lot more perks coming, a lot more kind of private videos where I'm more comfortable sharing a lot more of the strategies that I'm kind of currently following. A lot of times I do go quite aggressive in crypto. So right now I don't tell everyone everything because it's highly dangerous, highly speculative, but I feel like the people who are responsible about it can work. So anyways, um do smash up the likes and see that. Ray K says, "You're so dumb and I love it." Thank you. I'm so dumb. Good for you. All right, cool, man. Um, all right, we got Nick Mayo also coming in. So Nick, thank you so much for modding. I really appreciate all the mods. If you guys want to follow Nick as well, he's been crazy doing some crazy good TA. So yeah, check all that stuff out. We got Bernard Macari says 225 likes. We can do better. Smash up the likes and subscribe, guys. Awesome. Matthew says, I murdered the like button. The police are on its way. Eve, man, Eve is murdering everything too, man. Let's see it. Hashtag, we got Crypto Dinero says hashtag alt season. So yeah, I'm definitely having a lot more exposure to alts. I'll talk a lot more about it. So one of the things that I'm going into, so this is going to be highly, highly risky. All right, guys. So I talked a little bit about Mithril Cash. It's one of these algorithmic coins. So yeah, okay, a few thoughts about it, right? So just a quick reminder, guys. First and foremost, Mithril Cash will become $1 on January the 5th. So just to clarify everything, like these are algorithmic stablecoins that are trying to target the $1 mark, right? They're trying to be stable, just like how USDT is stable. So this is going to go to $1 very soon. So just a warning out there, on January the 5th, which is coming up at 2 a.m. UTC, there's going to be a massive seignorage event that's going to make this $1. So just be very careful if you're holding Mithril Cash right now. It's going to become $1 very soon if you don't do anything about it. Have a nice life. Now, the next thing is Mithril shares. So what's going to happen is the way it's going to work with these algorithmic stablecoins, and I think this is highly complicated, but yet again, it's something that I like I said, it's one of my resolutions to figure out algorithmic stablecoins this year. What's going to happen is that a huge amount, so 70x of this, is going to be dropped. Mithril Cash is going to be dropped to Mithril shareholders. So the other reminder, of course, guys, if you're holding Mithril shares, do stake it in the boardroom. The seignorage is going to happen. It's going to drop you the Mithril Cash. Make sure you stake it. If you don't stake it, you lose, right? So that's kind of the two gameplay aspects I want to talk about here. A few warnings, right? Because right now I feel like the way DeFi and all this kind of algorithmic stablecoins is working is that if you don't know what's happening, you're absolutely screwed, right? That's just clear. It's not like a buy and hodl sort of thing. It's like you got to know what everyone is doing, and you got to do those actions beforehand. This happened to me on Basis Cash. As I was mining Basis Cash, so my losses were not big. I was mining Basis Cash. I had some nice Basis Cash like sitting there, and then I was waiting on it. I was like, oh, whatever. I just left it there for 2 weeks, and then I realized, oh, it rebased already. You know, not rebased, seignoraged already. So I had a seignorage already. That Basis Cash, which was previously worth like 400, just went straight to 1 because it's crazy. We got Superman in the house, says, I can't sleep. Holy crap, what time is it over there, Superman? It is insane, man. Dot. He's like, he's a Dot fan now. Superman, you're on Dot? That's crazy. That's crazy. Like my exposure to Dot, I have exposure to Dot, but I'm like, holy crap, man. Like I was initially afraid of the Chinese whales, right? Like the Chinese whales all hold DOT, right? That's the biggest coin in China was DOT, right? 2019 was a year for DOT in China, like way before it even got listed, right? It was like DOT, 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 right? And now it's like it's showing some fires, man. It's insane. It's insane. I do have DOT exposure, but not hella hella exposure, not hella. But I do also have like exposure to Polka Starter. So like there's a lot of Polkadot projects right now. Polka Starter, I have exposure for there for new projects being built on dot. So Polka Starter has also become like pretty crazy. Like it's one of those things that just really took off this year as well. It's like I just like glance down sometimes. I'm like, oh wait, what? What's happening here? So yeah, I'm just grateful. I'm super grateful. Your thoughts on OMG as FJB. So here yet again, I'll declare my contract conflict of interest first. I'm part of Genesis Block Ventures, which has recently acquired OMG. So lots going on there behind the scenes. There's a lot of developments going on. There's a lot of cleaning up going on. I don't really want to make any official statements at this current point because yet again, a lot of stuff is under like legal stuff right now, but we will do upcoming live streams if you guys are interested in what's happening with OMG and what's kind of exciting on the horizon of OMG. We will have some talks with the Genesis Block Venture, Clement Ip, Mr. Clement Ip. We've been friends for a long time, and I'm gonna interview my friend to figure out what's happening. Well, what is allowed to be said? All right, that's the biggest problem. Like OMG, I have to hold back a little bit because yeah, lawyers. Anyways, that stuff. We got Superman Nights peeps. Have a good night, man, dude. It's insane. What's time in London right now? It's like how late are you up? Well, 4 a.m. guys. Crypto never sleeps, man. Crypto never sleeps. It's insane. It's insane. Trice's Kusama is great too. Writing it, congrats if you got it. That's insane. David Dollinger says I dropped my Polka starter for plus 100% today. I mean, if 2021 is a year of the dot, then you know any Polkadot infrastructure might be interesting, right? Um, Ivan Sweet says thoughts on banning U.S. regulations after USDT. Yet again, like I said, it's obviously an issue, right, for USDT. I think USDT has been such an opportunity and such a problem as well. I feel like where is this coming from, right? Is it Tone again? Is he just blabbering about USDT? Is that the situation? Because he's got a lot of things about USDT wrong. I'm not defending USDT in any sense of the word, but I'm a lot less concerned about it this year than like say in 2017. I think 2017 I didn't understand what's going on. I'm like, this is just like fluff, right? These guys are just printing endless supplies of USDT, pretending it's actually backed by US dollars. This is ridiculous. What the hell is going on? But last year, because of just how much hype and fever there was around USDT and how much competition there was, and I guess I'm a lot less concerned this year, if that makes sense. But you know, if you're concerned, definitely be concerned. It's gonna be an issue. I mean, yeah. Dot is killing it. Billy says tone LOL. So yeah, I did stop watching a lot of people. Like yeah, on terms of crypto media, it's you know, Tone Ways being one of them. Sorry, Tone. I think he's got great analysis. Like I think he's got some good TA points. I think he's great at teaching about TA. Super respect what he's doing, but he's super wrong when it comes to being a maximalist. Like that's one thing I'm very grateful of myself. Like at first, I'm like, oh man, he's made some strong arguments, right? Maybe this guy is reasonable, but I think it ends there. You know, he makes some great arguments. He's a very charismatic speaker, but at the same time, most of my profits came from not listening to him. So, yeah, that was great. We got King Cobra, Owly Green, ETH. Daniel Riogi says, ETH sushi never took off. Sushi never took off. Like, what are you talking about? Sushi you get for free, right? Like go farm it. Go farm it. Like we farmed sushi like ages ago. Like it was free sushi. I don't care. Like I don't really care where sushi ends up, right? Like I got it for free. Like please understand the gameplay. Understand the gameplay. We got crypto tonight. You should watch my channel at Box Mining. Well, you will need beer to enjoy it. Ha ha ha. That sounds great. That sounds great. I would love to have a time to chill and talk about Bitcoin. Like that's my dream. That's my dream. One day so I can chill. Like right now, like Um, like right now, like I've been like this is weird, right? Okay, I'll show you something weird, right? So I just bought this yesterday, so this is disgusting. Like what I'm drinking is disgusting. Like that's yellow crap. So this is turmeric and ginger. Turmeric and ginger. I'm on a super healthy craze right now because I figure that like because I'm staying up so late every night, like I need to detox, right? Does that make sense? Like turmeric is cracked full of antioxidants, ginger as well. So I got this ginger turmeric tea this morning. It's disgusting though. It's like absolutely disgusting. Do I feel better? I don't know, but I'm playing around with that at least for the new year, right? New Year resolution: be a little bit healthier, do all that healthy crap. So yeah, this is one of the ways: turmeric ginger tea. Tell me if you guys have any resolutions this year. What are your resolutions? I'm interested. I'm just interested. I'm like kind of building up a list. I'm a little bit late to the resolution scene. I'm like, first of all, my list is like, okay, work harder, right? Second of all, my list, understand this algorithmic stablecoin crap. Third on the list is just be healthy. I don't want my weight. Like yet last year, my weight was proportional to the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up, my weight goes up, right? I'm like sitting there on my chair trading every day. Do I want to exercise? Hell no, hell no. Like this year, I'm like, okay, like maybe I'll stay healthy. Like otherwise, I'm not the youngest person anymore. I'm getting a little bit older. Like I'm like almost like mid 30s right now. It's kind of scary, But your body changes, right? Like when you get older, your body changes. You can no longer like lose weight easily. But anyway, that's just ranting. Okay, 105, man, this is insane. This is insane. Oh yeah, we lost signal on our stream as well. So I think that's like a way to end the video. Right? Let me change the battery. That's kind of weird, huh? Weird. F F. Is it my? Oh, there we go. We're back. We're back. Yeah, it's just my battery. One of these batteries. That's kind of surprising. I didn't expect the battery to run out in an hour, but anyways, we're good. We're good, guys. Thank you guys so much. Elgato F. Elgato F. Yep. Elgato F. But we can just watch this, right? We just watch ETH fly today. Ah. Ah. Savin Somas is you're in your 30s? Yeah, man. I'm in my 30s. I'm old, man. I'm just I don't look it, I guess. I mean, I'm Asian, so I guess I look younger than my age. But yeah, I'm in like 30s, man. It kind of sucks. Like a lot of people think I'm in my 20s. But yeah, I'm like 30x, man. Not cool. Not cool. Not cool. Oh, don't miss the ETH, guys. Oh man, ETH is just flying today. It just passed that mark. I mean, this is kind of insane, right? Like if ETH breaks past 1,000 easy, like what are we gonna see next, right? Like this is insane. This is just absolutely insane. Like ETH flying maybe to like right now, it feels like it's so easy to move, right? 1,100, 1,200. Can we hit those numbers today? That would be insane. Like now that we passed it, oh my God, I'm pretty excited actually. China's actually very bullish right now too. Like with Asian markets moving up today, like China's actually really, really bullish on crypto right now at this current point too. Like you can see like previously last year, like every time during the Asian markets, when Asian markets are open, it'd be so bearish, right? It'll be absolutely bearish. I'll just see red candles every day. And then when at nighttime for me, right? Because I'm in Asia right now, at nighttime when the US markets open up, right? That's when the green candles come up, right? And then it's like almost always the all-time highs when I'm sleeping. But I think that's transitioning these last few months. Last few months we've been seeing a lot of green candles during the day in Asia. So like it's much more like happy. So that's actually quite exciting with Asia being so excited for crypto at its current point too. I think that's going to be super exciting. We're going to Mars, says James Leo. Absolutely. Bitcoin taking a break, then pull back. Um, I actually feel like Bitcoin probably the pullback won't be very strong, to be honest. I feel like Bitcoin has a lot to give, especially throughout mid next week when people all talk about it, when Wall Street also talks about it too. It's a kind of like a realization, right? Like, we're joking, when one BTC one equals to one Tesla, right? Like when will Elon Musk, accept Bitcoin, like one single Bitcoin payment for a Tesla Model 3? Like there will be a day. Like I think it's inevitable. That guy's been reading a lot about Bitcoin. Um, it's kind of funny, right? Elon Musk, Bitcoin. I mean, all the way back in 2017, we thought, we saw Elon reading the book about Bitcoin, right? But now he's been tweeting about it. He's been doing a lot more. It's a lot more people are understanding it more, and this is kind of very very interesting for us. It's definitely no longer the rat poison days in this world. Bit Butler says Bitcoin going sideways for months here. I actually don't feel like. I feel like Bitcoin can move up, especially in this period, especially as interest grows. So one of the things I'm watching very closely here is how the interest in search results for Bitcoin goes over time. I feel like Bitcoin has a lot of performance to give, especially with the increase. Like we definitely see that almost exponential increase in the interest in Bitcoin, right? So with that interest, we need to bring more people in, right? Like at the end of the day, people need to understand this. So the holiday effect is definitely coming in where people go back, talk about Bitcoin and getting more interest. I definitely see a lot more people asking me about Bitcoin. So I feel like Bitcoin has a lot to give still. ETH as well, like the whole rising tide thing is going to be crazy. So I definitely see that going on. All right. Okay. I think that's been pretty. Paul says he's always been trolling BTC, but it's always interesting when people troll BTC. It becomes a point when do they stop trolling? That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. Uh, Trey Hawkins says Elon can be very well be Satoshi. He's asked about Bitcoin and asked like he's not into it. Very strange, but obviously he's been spending days on it, right? Like, anyways. That's pretty much it, guys. We've got Craig Park says, once you go crypto, you can never go back. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for today's episode. I do want to give a shout out to my new video too. I'm giving a shout out to myself. It's great. So selfish here. But yeah, so the last video is about Yubikey. So this is actually quite important. I actually filmed this some time ago. If you actually look at the video, my hair is a little bit different. It was a much shorter during that video time, but um, I've been very slow releasing videos. But this video is important because recently there's been a lot of hacks, right? So it's a little bit weird. Like these ugly things are YubiKeys, and they give us a hardware control over exchange accounts. So right now, as it goes, if I need to withdraw any cryptocurrency out of an exchange, I have to physically press this button, right? That means that hackers, if they ever manage to break my accounts, etc., they'll also need to physically press this button in order to do a withdrawal. So this becomes very important because recently we had the ledger breach. That's been pretty horrible. Um, People are going to try to fish for email accounts. They're going to try to log into your exchange accounts. They might even try to attack your phone's 2FA, right? So that's been happening in the past. Just go Google search that, 2FA hacked by phone, SMS. That's why you should never use SMS 2FA. But what happens is that these hackers are super malicious. If they have your data, if they have their email, they have your name, if they have your address, if they go search even more information, they can go to the phone company and say, hey, look, I am this person. I am you so and so. And I lost my phone. I need a new SIM card. And if they actually get that SIM card from you, they can deactivate a lot of your emails. They can go into your accounts. They can go into your exchange accounts. That's been one paranoia for me. Very, very big paranoia. So yeah, YubiKeys. The video's up. This is actually only $20. I think this is the cheapest one. This is actually the best one, honestly. Like the one with the USB Type A. If you have a computer that supports this, the cheapest one's the best. Just buy one from the official sources. Use a PO box if you wanted to accept delivery, but that has been very, 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 very important. Bit Butler says they may even stalk you / rob you. I do agree. Like, guys, be very careful. I've met people during crypto conferences, right? So a lot of people, they weren't very comfortable talking about the situations when they're attacked. It's very emotional. But people who are very early on into crypto and accidentally leak that they have large amounts of crypto, they do get attacked. And there was a story that I did hear that someone broke into his house and literally just held a gun to his face. And the scary part about this guy was that the person who broke into his house, he had a mask on. and he was like dripping, drooling. So this guy was very much like a druggie. They're unpredictable, right? People who are on drugs, they're unpredictable. They're holding a gun to your head. That's never a situation you ever want to be in. That's like the reason why it happens is that people who know they have crypto, they send people to attack you. They don't go for you themselves, right? They hire like these junkies or whatever. Just be super, super careful. Like it's just not a good scene, right? So be safe, guys. Security, paranoia. This is when you do have to worry about it. As crypto goes up, becomes more valuable, you got to be, much more vigilant as well. So that too. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. Also, yeah, Refactor says Ledger gave out our details. That's bullshit. That's like the worst, man. Like I made a video about that too, how to deal with that. Now you just gotta be way more paranoid. It's kind of insane. It's insane. It's insane. So, anyways, guys, that's kind of last things. BitButler says exactly. I've been robbed at gunpoint. You never ever want to be in a situation. Sorry to hear that, BitButler. Yeah, I guess it's ending on a grim note. I think I want to end on a happier note to see that crypto is going up. But as crypto goes up, guys, be a lot more safe. It's your crypto, right? Like you have a huge amount of responsibility when you go into crypto. I don't want to preach this every day, but it's a lot of people take it very easily. But as you're in crypto, as you are in charge of all your cryptocurrencies, making sure that your crypto is safe becomes a very, very high priority, especially as ETH hits these new all-time highs. It's insane, right? Look at those prices right now. 1,025 for Ethereum. That's crazy, right? So as we reach these new levels, just be extremely, extremely cautious, guys. I don't want to preach this anymore, but stay safe, stay safe. Daniel Borshill says, I put 1,000 to ETH. Am I fucked? Why would you be? I mean, look. Spend some time, look at DeFi. All right, spend some time. Like, honestly, if you guys have any New Year resolution, learn DeFi. Yeah, you'll thank me later. I hate saying that, but it's true. ETH has really this year, last year really, ETH powered decentralized finance. And a lot of people didn't understand what it is. I still remember. I'm not going to throw the name out there, right? This is a very reputable person, right, in the cryptocurrency scene. And he was like, what the hell is DeFi? This was during a conference. Everyone was talking about DeFi this, DeFi that. And he's like, what the hell is DeFi? And he's been in crypto for a long time. All right, what the hell is DeFi? He's like, oh, decentralized finance, right? It's decentralized finance. He's like, is that what the kids are doing these days? Is that the newest fad that's going to come and die in a year? It's skeptical, right? Skeptical Bitcoin maximism, right? But a lot of times, crypto produces air, right? 2017 was a big culprit, big problem. Like there were a lot of things that didn't work, right? Like that's clear. But at the same time, DeFi, if you actually use it, like if you use something like Wing or Compound, like I'm farming Wing right now, but you can like store a currency and like say you can deposit like USDC and you can pull out Rent BTC and you can have BTC that you can trade on. It becomes such a powerful tool. Like all these tools, especially when they work together, become super powerful. Already, like Uniswap already replaced, like it stole the mojo of centralized exchanges. It's completely stole the mojo of those exchanges. Those exchanges used to be so cocky because they were like gatekeepers of liquidity, right? If you want to have good liquidity, you want people to have good entry points into cryptocurrencies, you got to list on Binance. You got to list on Coinbase, right? It was a must. But this year, if you saw the trading on Uniswap, if you just see the trade volume on that and you see the amount of liquidity in that space, it's insane, right? Uniswap just like came out of nowhere. It was the unicorn, right? It was that unicorn that came out of nowhere, changed the world so that we know it. And now that with decentralized finance coming in, just look at that. Just look at that. Like, look at these numbers, right? Liquidity all the way back in May, nothing. No one cared. Okay, you got millions, and then boom, you got billions, $2.64 billion coming into Uniswap. All right, so it's not as crazy as last year during this whole DeFi summer because obviously there were a lot of incentives to deposit in Uniswap during the farming days. But now even without the farming rewards, that number is going up $2.64 billion. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. The trade volume that's going on there. Like, look into it. Look into it. If this is your New Year resolution, look into it at the very least. Understand what's going on, and that's gonna be key. We also have like a playlist. Like, check out that playlist. Like the DeFi playlist. Check that up. And what does DeFi stands for? What does DeFi stand for? DeFi stands for the future of finance. What does it not stand for? It definitely does not stand for quick money. All right, a lot of people, they're interested in decentralized finance because of quick money, but money never comes quick. Money always goes away quick, but it never comes quick. That's always the case. All right, that is always the case. That's the law. Like, there's so many easy ways to lose money in crypto. You have to be a lot more strategic to make money, and this is when you got to be smart. All right. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for being in this channel. Smash on the likes. Really appreciate it, guys. If you guys have any topics and requests, leave them down in the comment section below. We do look at the comments list. We do make new videos. This week, I'm doing a mini challenge. I was almost not gonna say it, but I'm gonna try to at least release like 2 videos during the week as well, just trying to push out more content as well. So I hope I can meet those goals, guys. I'm having early goals. I was gonna say 1 video per day in terms of content release, but that's too crazy. 2 videos this week, all right, at least. I want to try to go for something cool as well, guys. So yeah, with ETH going up to these heights as well, I think we're gonna see some super exciting times ahead. And the craziest part is that, you know, we don't even like. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. It's going to be exciting. We're going to be exciting. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. And hope you guys, much love. I hope you guys have a great week this week. It's very exciting. It's just the start. So much more excitement to come. Stay subscribed. Stay safe. Be cool. You know, have fun. And we're going to go for the outro now. I'd like to take the time now to tell you a little bit about everything that's happening in the box mining ecosystem. First and foremost, if you guys like listening to all that's happening in crypto on the go, then I would highly recommend you checking out the Box Mining Bitcoin Out of the Box podcast. And the reason why it's called Bitcoin Out of the Box is because we have long interview segments very much exploring the detail of the newest and latest of what's going on in this whole cryptocurrency space. Whole idea of it is to bridge that gap between knowledge privileged institutional investors and the rest of us here in this space. Now, with the podcast, it's on everything. So it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. Just search it anywhere, Bitcoin Out of the Box. So just add that onto a playlist and then just follow the new episodes when it's released. Next up, we also have the Box Mining newsletter. So this happens roughly bi-weekly. We give you an update of the latest that's going on in a very summarized, condensed format. So this is perfect for anyone that wants an overview of the market. Say, for example, what's happening with OKX, the biggest event, or maybe the little things like what's happening with different coins and overall the trend. So what I use the newsletter for personally myself is to understand what kind of phase we're in crypto, to kind of get in tune. So if you don't read crypto every day, the newsletter is perfect for you. Last but not least, in the link down below, if you're a Telegram user, we have the Box Mining announcements channel. So this is to announce to you basically what's the latest videos coming up, but also we have a daily update, a community-driven daily update to provide you an idea of the latest updates on the day. And a lot of people have been using that to get informed of the crazy amounts of trends that we see. And I have to give a big thank you for Claudio, our community member, for doing this. It's just been phenomenal. Definitely want to give you a shout out there, Claudio, as well for that. And taking us to the end of the live stream, so make sure, number 1, you click like and subscribe on this video because it really does help this channel. And then, of course, check out the podcast. It's one of the best ways to know a little bit more, to extend that knowledge, especially in your spare time. And then, of course, check out the newsletter. If you're, if you want those updates and summaries and trends, newsletter is the place for you. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a good one. See you in the next video.